the hockey. It's really, really interesting. Football, not that much, but as we play with foot, of course, that we can take a lot of things from futsal to football and from football to futsal. And we all played street football or something like this, let's say, at least I believe. And this is something that, unfortunately, today it's not happening that much. But I don't know, probably you also played with some friends with 3 against 3, 2 against 2, just somewhere. And that's why football is the most popular sport in the world, because it's the sport with less rules and easiest to find a way to play. We just need 2 stones or 4 stones if we want, and sometimes even with a piece of paper. I even have it here. I remember when I was playing with my friends, just we didn't have a ball, but now we have a ball. It's just perfect just to put on the floor, and we played 1 against 1. And so it's football, it's futsal, it's everything the same, just a ball in the foot. So now when Daniel told me, we'll start here now, the difference between 5 aside, 8 aside, 11 aside. If you want to make some question, just tell me. And now I have to start here to share. All right, tell me, you can see?
Yeah.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, all good, all good. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you see the slides, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So when we start, and I asked to Daniel, it was the first question that I make to him. It was, okay, and what's the loss in futsal, 8 aside, or in football? Because there was some coach, it was Guardiola, some assistants of Guardiola, that he said that the best book of tactics, it's the book of the laws of the game. If we don't know the laws of any game, we don't understand, we don't enjoy it, and we don't know what we can do or what we cannot do. So it's basically we have to know. And I asked to Daniel, so tell me about the laws, because maybe I will speak about something that you cannot do, and it doesn't make any sense. We have to look first, okay, what can I do? And inside of this law, what can I create to give me advantage and to give me opportunity to be better than the other team? So one thing that we know, in futsal we play 2 times 20 minutes with the time at time. In 8 aside, you play 2 times 25, right? Or something changed,
Yes.
Daniel?
No,
Yeah.
that's it. Yes.
25 and not timed, yeah? Not timed.
No times. No, 25
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. And in football, they play 2 times 45. One thing is interesting, and I have it here, and I just put these marks. If you check, because the games that have 1 hour 45 minutes and 2 hours, it's because they are on TV, so with advertisements and with the half time, because I didn't cut, it's like 2 hours each match. But if you look to the games that there is around, you see that in the game number 15, the first one, we played 1 hour 23 minutes. So we played 83 minutes. In next one, we played 1 hour 21 minutes. And then we played 1 hour 36 and 1 hour 27. This 1 hour 36, it was because there was a bit of fight in the middle of the match. So it took a little bit longer. But approximately in futsal, we play 2 times 40, let's say. And what it gives, if you see in comparison with football and even with 8 aside, even if we only play 20 minutes each half, basically we play the same as a football match. We play 40 minutes, like 40 minutes each half if we don't stop the time. And we used to say to the guys that even in these 20 minutes that we play, it's not 20 minutes indeed, it's 40, because when the ball is outside, we have to be ready about what will happen next. So our concentration it has to be always in the top level, always on the top, because when the ball is outside, the referee is not counting the time is stopped, but there is a lot of actions happening during the match. So this dynamic creates much more pressure on the players about the concentration that they need to have in the match. They can never lose the focus for 1 second. It can be enough to suffer a goal because the pitch it's much smaller, and this it's really interesting. And in football now there is a lot of talks about maybe the time as well to stop, but they have to think that the game will change completely. The game will change completely in my opinion. It's not just a matter of the time, how we have to be. Sometimes just it's just a kick in. I have here in the next, yeah, no, not yet. Sometimes it's a kick in and the teams are just preparing to. We have it in futsal. There is a kick in, and sometimes the defenders are just coming back because the time is stopped, so they are recovering slowly, and immediately someone is playing the ball, and in this 40 per 20, it's you lose the time and you lose the space. Another rule, very important, of course, no offside in futsal. In five aside, also no offside, right? Or
Yeah,
you have like seven
yeah,
aside.
yeah. That's exactly no offside in
No
the first.
offside at all.
Sorry,
No offside at
no
all.
offside.
Okay, okay. This is very, very important because it makes the game much large, yeah. And our space to play, it's really 40-20, not like in football. In football, we assist a lot of matches that are playing only in the half pitch because with the offside, the defense is pressing so high that reduces the space to play. And you also don't have this. You don't have offside, so we can create the game large, and you play 7 players and the goalkeeper, of course. And if we know how to use this rule of no offside, we have a lot of space to play, a lot of space to play. You can have as much space to play as they have in football, in my opinion, because with the no offside law, you can play in full pitch. You play, I don't know the size that you play, but you told me that it's in a half pitch, yeah?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay,
It's half pitch, basically on the largeness. So it's how we play
okay,
it versus it. Basically, there is two games in one football pitch.
okay. So you can really use the all space that you have with this no offside. You can just have one striker, but he has to defend as well.
Yeah,
But
that was the
yeah,
part where we had difficulties in the first games because most of the teams were futsal teams. They made this
yeah,
championship in the break. So, for
mhm,
example, uh, so this team I told you, some of your former players, they like most of them they play with a striker, yeah, in front, and then of course it's for us it's a bit different because we were not used to it. But then
mhm,
if we keep the player, there's a big hole in between the defense and the midfield,
yeah.
and so basically it needs to be in charge of the goalkeeper. So
Yes. But that's really interesting law that you have it because it's.
yeah,
And I also believe that the law in football that they wanted to change maybe because now the offside it's if you have just a part of your body in advantage in the relation of the last defender is offside, and there is a talk to change this law. So all body must be offside to be offside. There is a talks to change the offside law, and if they will change it, they will make the game much deep, and they will start also to make kind of the same because the defense cannot press so high because it's not so easy that players will be offside. And in your game, in my opinion, in this part, futsal can be very useful because if imagine that you call one the striker in closer to the sideline, there will be space to play in the back of defense. Maybe the last man of the guys will be also in the side. Maybe I have here. I don't have it here. I could show you on the board. It will be easier. But the no offside law, you can really make the game so large that you can play with a lot of space. And we'll see one. I have here one thing curious to watch after. We'll come back to this topic. As I told you, we have 4 seconds to play in any situation. Kick-ins, corners, because we don't throw it with hands, so we call it kick-in. In free kicks, in kickoff, from the goalkeeper, we have all these 4 seconds to play. The referee is counting. So our strategies must be really well organized, because in these 4 seconds, we have to move. Everyone has to know where to move and what to do, because if we don't play the ball in 4 seconds, the ball will go to the other team. In either side, you don't have, and in football also you have. In football, there is 6 seconds law, but nobody cares about it.
Yeah, it could be good. They will do.
It could be good, but yeah, there is nothing.
Basically, in our pitch, once if for example they were trying to lose time, putting the ball very far away, or the referee was doing that. For example, if they see that the guy was shooting the ball outside in purpose, they were
Yeah,
giving yellows for that.
yeah. But this goes to the first as well. Like, you play 2 times 25. Man, you play twice less more than us, almost.
Mm.
It's really short time. It's really, in these 25 minutes, maybe you play 20 minutes, let's say. The time, if you will stop the time and you'll count, maybe you play only 20 minutes, I believe. So 10-10 each half, which is like, it's not a lot.
No,
And
basically, no. I think it's a bit more, possibly. I think, I mean, useful time. It was more than that because, yeah, it was quite fast. People they didn't want to. It was very physical. 25-25 was already tough.
it's
Tough.
all right, all right. But then you also have this law, yeah? You
Yeah,
have unlimited substitutions, right?
yeah.
So, and this, it's the dynamics that we can create with this law. It's very interesting, because we don't have to make our players, they don't have to die on the pitch. How many players you can have on the bench?
As many as I want.
As many
15.
as you want.
Yeah.
Usually you are what, like 15?
It depends of the game. It depended of the games because, well, it was during summer and most of us, I mean, most of our team are foreigners, so basically
Yeah.
it was well, and during August, so
All right, all right.
we had games where we were struggling with the numbers. I
Okay,
was
okay.
not I was not in every game also, so
Yeah, but even like, if you have it, it gives you the chance to. And for me, it's very good that in football they change for 5 substitutions, because you can change so many times the way how to play with the unlimited substitutions. Imagine you are in a moment that the other team is pressing you so much you can't do nothing. Come on, let's just put maybe one defender, just trying to keep the to keep it calm, let's say, the game a bit calmer and cold. And after that, maybe in one moment, from one moment to the other, you can just put 2 strikers. So you are changing from one very defensive way out to play to very aggressive one. And for the other team, it's difficult to adapt. This is something that we make here in futsal. Sometimes we play, if you watch, let's say, handball or hockey, because as I said, it's much more similar futsal with these ones. Sometimes we play with 4 players and like 0 strikers, let's say, 0 pivots. So we have a lot of dynamic in this match, and the other guys have to run just after us. And from one moment to the other, we just put 2 pivots that are like in handball, just to receive the ball and to play the ball to the guys. So we broke the defense completely, because instead, before, they were pressing us with one line, and then they will have to transform in 3 lines to defense. So the mess that is in their minds, it's in this moment that they are readapting to our way how to play. It's something that we have really, really advantage from the others, and it's something that you can use as well.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest, I learned that as a coach now in the basically in the hard way after all the championship after. But now since we did some friendlies from in the last months, and well, as a coach, I see that indeed you can work really well with this. And,
Okay.
but it's true that in beginning, as a football coach, it was hard to see the how important the substitutions are, you know, because it's
Yeah,
true
yeah.
that you can change the game with this.
Yeah, there is a talk about our national coach in Portugal, the football one, that he still didn't adapt to these five substitutions. About our Portuguese national coach, there was a talk about it because in our match against Spain, Spain started to struggle Portugal in second half. We made a good first half, in my opinion, but second was disaster. The beginning, and he did only one substitution, and he kept some players on the pitch that were dead. And there was a lot of thoughts because this law only changed 2 years ago, and even the coach of the teams, let's say normal teams, they have problems to adapt of these five substitutions. So for national coach, it's even worse because they don't have many matches, yeah, and you can change really a lot. You can change two players maybe in the halftime or something in football, and after you can change another two, so you can change, imagine you are playing 4-4-2, you can play 4-3-3, and then you can play changing one guy and play 5-4-1. You can play in three different ways in a very short time, yeah. So you can change with the unlimited substitutions. It's awesome for coaches. It's something that it's perfect when you know how to use. And this gives one point interesting, and this is also for you to think. I here it's one from our matches from our team. The players that you see on the left, it's the assistants that they make, and the players that you see on the top, it's the guys that score the goals. So, for example, we have there Cadini has 3 assistants to Bruno. Vini 2 has 4 assistants to Bruno. Vini 1, 3 to Bruno, and so on here. Let me just. All right. So, and then there is some circles in the green. You can see the green ones, yeah, as well.
Hmm.
Okay. This is something that I bring here because I think it's important for you. Let me just see here. Okay. How many of you, when you are playing, you have your favorite teammate, yeah, to play with? It's true or no? You have someone that you prefer to play with than in comparison with the others. Is it right? Or you like to play with everybody in the same way?
You can answer. You can answer that.
What?
Of,
David.
of course, we have favorites.
You have favorites. You have
Of course,
favorites. Everybody has favorites. So
of course.
this is for us to show. We play with 4 guys, yeah, four and goalkeeper, but let's count four. And I remember one situation when I was a player. Our coach was always like screaming on one friend of mine. He was my best friend in that time. Yeah, we are still today in Portugal, a guy that I born with, because he was never passing the ball. We were playing with 4 guys, yeah. So, and there was one guy that was always alone, or most of the times alone, but he was always trying to find me or another guy. And the coach asked, "Hey, why you don't play to the guy that is alone?" And he was saying, "Even if he's completely alone, I prefer to pass to the other 2 guys with less chances that they will control the ball than to pass to this guy that he's alone, because he didn't trust on him." And this is something that if you play FIFA, I don't know if you play FIFA on the PlayStation, you see the chemistry. Yeah, there. I don't know if you ever played in Ultimate FIFA.
I never did.
You never did,
I'm
yeah.
very bad with that, but I know that there is this chemistry that you can play with. Basically,
Yeah,
if you have many, for example, if you have many Portuguese on your team, they will have good chemistry.
yeah, yeah.
If you have many players from Real Madrid or Barcelona or whatever, they have good chemistry because they play usually together.
Yeah. That's it. And we played a lot with chemistry. As you see here, I put in the green that guys because they played less minutes together than, for example, the guys that are in the red, Vini one and Bruno and Cadini and Bruno. And with less time that they played together at the same time, they have a lot of combinations between them. And we see that their chemistry, they are all Portuguese and Brazilians, they are very good friends outside of the pitch. And it's possible to take the relations that they have outside of the pitch to bring them to inside of the pitch. So we have always to think about the positions and to try to make duos, to make pairs, to make trio, to make a four of the guys. Because if we can find this connection that they have, and we try to make it even bigger. For example, when we play outside, usually we have before the match, we know that these four guys they will play together. After 3 minutes, we'll replace them with these four guys, and so on. We have this strategy usually. And in the night before, when we plan the rooms where they will sleep, we make pairs of the guys that we know that they will combine during the match. So when they are in the room, they can start to speak about tomorrow, let's make it, let's make that. And we work a lot with this. Let's see which players in the trainings they are speaking more, which players have more intimacy, which players are going maybe together to the dinner or to the lunch in the restaurants because they are going to eat together in the restaurants. And last year we were working a lot with that, and it's very curious. And the friendship or something, some players only have connection in the match. It's true, but everything that we can bring from the outside to the inside, and for us coaches it's really important to understand it, the players that have this chemistry, because on the pitch in the moments that they need, they will be there for each others. And it's really really interesting for me, this these statistics that we have here. This is just one to show, as you see here, in the last season in futsal league, uh, 33% of the goals, 532 goals, were playing that three players touched the ball. So they were making combinations only with these three players. And with two players, just two players combining together to score, it was 37% of the goals. That's why it's very important, these duos, to know which players they are connecting better with each others, that characteristics of them are working together to put sometimes one left guy with one right guy trying to combine together. It's awesome. And to choose, okay, which is the left that maybe it will work good with the right, and we try that they will play all the time together. And this it's really interesting. And for example, I don't know if you saw this image before. No one saw this image before?
I did. I
Yeah.
don't count. I don't count. I didn't say anything.
Okay, you don't say anything, you know what?
But I didn't say anything. But the other ones, I saw their faces and they said no with their face. So no.
Okay. Good that you didn't. This it was about one season in Barcelona that Messi scored 52 goals. 4 assistants were from Suarez, 9 from Neymar. Messi 13 assistants to Neymar. Suarez 8, because they were working really good, yes, and everybody was speaking. And there is another trio now, yeah, with in PSG, and there is one guy that they speak that has no chemistry with Messi and Neymar. That could, right?
Yep. Yes. Yes. That's true.
Okay.
We could.
So this it was
The
from
guy thinks otherwise.
Yeah. The
exactly.
guy thinks otherwise, but
You can see here in this it was from 2 matches ago, but Messi didn't play the last 2 matches, so it's okay. I think so. Look,
It's still the same.
it's still the same. Mbappe has 0 passes to Messi. Mbappe has 0 passes to Neymar. Neymar has 3. One, it was in that amazing goal that they scored against Lille, I think, from the kickoff. Messi is passes to everyone. He can close the eyes and put the ball wherever he wants. But it's, and of course, it's not a full season. Maybe they will put as much the biggest numbers as they have in this Suarez, Messi, and Neymar. But it's to see that everybody knows what is happening with Mbappe, and the truth is that he's not combining with the other guys at all.
You can see it inside the pitch. What's happening outside?
Exactly. It's everything is connected. We cannot take. Of course, we used to say to the guys, to the players, that they don't need to be the best friends. They don't need to go to eat in each other's house on the weekends. But if they have this chemistry, this will be shown on the pitch. And there was one guy in Portugal also said one story, Candido Costa, that when he was in Porto, there was a tradition that all players were going for the lunch together, even between trainings. And sometimes during Mourinho's time, they went drunk to the evening training. And he was asking, like, okay, maybe this lunch that they had, because they were like a real family, of course, that it was not the lunch that made them win the Champions League with Porto, the Europe League or UEFA in that time with Porto, with Mourinho. It was not the lunch. It was because they played good. But he said, like, what they won with this lunch that they have together, it was so big friendship that when it was the moment to go inside of the pitch, and if needed to broke one leg, is their own leg, to help or to correct the mistake of the other colleague, they will do it. My colleague make a mistake. I have to put my foot here now, and maybe the other guy will hit me and will broke my leg. Okay, but I will do it because it's for him. It's not for me. And this really touched my mind because last season I experienced this in my team. As Daniel was saying, we were in the odds before the league start. We were the fourth team to by the odds with more chances to win the league, more probabilities. We were the fourth, and we were champions. And that guys, they were going between trainings to coffee together. The Portuguese guys spoke a little bit of Polish, the Polish speaking a little bit of Portuguese. The environment in the team, it was something really unbelievable, and this really helps us, I think. So Daniel met one of the players, Iram, one Brazilian guy. He didn't play, but we told him that he was one of the most important players on the team because he was creating such a big mood that he makes everybody with a huge smile. So we can think a lot about which players combine together, which duos or trios can we make, and we coaches sometimes we can manipulate it in some way. We can try to manipulate it, and there is some strategies. That manipulation, it's too strong word, but indeed it's the truth. You can see here, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so one interesting stuff that I have to show you here. Futsal pitch on the left, 40-20. Football pitch by the UEFA norms, let's say like Wembley Stadium has 105 per 68. And I guess that yours will be almost like 65-45, no? Approximately, let's say
Yeah,
a little bit
yeah,
less than a
yeah.
little bit less than half pitch, yeah?
That's more or less that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, the pitch is not as big as Wembley, so I will say that that's more or less it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I didn't put exactly, because if I put exactly half size, it will be 68, and
Yeah.
the length it will be 55
Yeah.
or something. So we play 5 against 5 in 420. You play 8 against 8 right?
Mm-hmm.
And in football, they play 11 against 11. Okay. Try to imagine the space that we have to play. We have 10 people in this 420. If we adapt the number of the players in the football, in futsal, to the football, let's say 1 player per squad meter, how many players do you think that we will play? Not 11 against 11 in football, but just to have an idea. What do you think that we'll play?
3 against 3.
No, no.
No, it's the other way around.
Okay, so
We play
13,
13.
14. Uh, 600.
Someone has more to say?
No, 50. Sorry.
15.
50. 50.
50.
Yeah,
50 against 50.
yeah. That will be.
44 against 44.
Yeah.
So the pitch will be something like this. Imagine to go to a stadium, watch a football match, and you have 44 players each side.
I've never seen that before. Such thing.
It's insane, yeah? So imagine the space that we don't have to play and the dynamic that, but okay, in football they have offside. So they make the game not so large, yeah? So in your side, how many players, instead of 8 against 8, how it would be your match if you keep the same dimensions of futsal?
It will be just 11 versus 11. That's the one.
No?
2009. No.
Now I will say 15.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. 22.
13, 13 aside. Now imagine you are playing with more. You should play, if you keep the same range, you will play with more players than they play in football, and you don't have offside.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have offside. So imagine the space that you have to play here. Imagine this. That's why you have problems with teams with football, with futsal, coming from futsal, because they know how to use all this space to play. They know how to use this space because they are used to playing all the pitch, and you are still with the mind of football, of the offside and so on. So when you have the ball, probably you are not making the game so deep, and you needed much more players to make the game as deep and large as you can have. So for me this is very important. So imagine now the dynamics that we need to have in futsal, and that's why in the grassroots, a lot of teams are starting to make futsal obligated in the academies and playing 5 against 5 in 40-20 because you have no time to think. You have no time to make nothing. You have to be very good technically. You have to be fast. You have to be dynamic. You have to be aggressive in defense. You have to be smart and intelligent because the things are always changing. You have the ball, you lose the ball. If we lose the ball in the middle of the pitch, we are 20 meters far away from our goal. After 5 minutes, players can shoot and be a goal. And the dynamics of the match, I was playing football, of course, in Portugal when I started. But first time that I went for a futsal training, I never wanted to play football anymore. I was a right winger and I was running so much and I was touching the ball so less times that I was so tired. And when I moved to football, to futsal, we have always the ball on the pitch, on the foot, always the ball, dynamic, attack, defense, move here, move there. We are playing in without pivot, with pivot. And that's why, and this it's something that it's wonderful for me. That's why sometimes football it's a bit boring for me to watch now because of this lack of dynamics that the game has. You never thought about this before, Daniel?
Actually, I didn't. No, actually. Well, of course, I would say. I mean, I said that before. You know, like this. that I mean, it's okay to play because sometimes we are a bit more in the training, and sometimes we do 9 versus 9
Yeah,
in half pitch, and they say, "Oh man, we are so crowded in here." I said, "Oh yeah, but you are, but in futsal is even crowded." I think I said that before, but you know,
yeah. So imagine that you play 13
yeah,
versus 13.
yeah, but yeah.
It's everything about the dynamics that you have. It's everything about the dynamics that you have. And as you know, we don't have defenders, we don't have midfielders, and we don't have attackers, let's say. Everybody makes everything. And you can have this balance, of course, in your match. You can put it players that only defend, players that are more in the middle. But even football is changing for that, I think so.
Yeah, well, the 5 substitutions will do it.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I think that everything gets combined. The laws of the match and everything. And the dynamic, and you watched futsal matches before, and the dynamic that we have. You were watching the World Cup last year in Kaunas, in Lithuania, and the dynamic of the match. Like ball, it's closer to one goal, it's to another goal. The players never stop. That's why they are always changing. Each 2 3 minutes of time to time, we change the players because it's really really intense. It's high intensity game. I remember also when I was playing in football, ball was in defense, I was looking to them. Ball was in the attack, defenders were looking to us. Yeah, like it was a bit boring. And here, no, ball it's always moving, mobility, and the principles of the match of the game, they are all the same. We speak about it. If you have the ball, what do you want? First thing, we want to go to attack. If we have space, why cannot we go to attack immediately? But if we are in defense, what is the first thing that we need to make? If the attacker wants to progress, what the defender should make?
Defensive transition. Right
Yeah,
answer.
yeah. To delay. Exactly. It's this transition. It's to delay.
Yeah,
Delay the attack.
I
If it's
know.
one against
I just don't want to answer all the time.
yeah. If it's one against one, you cannot give chances in defense. So you have to delay and wait that your teammates will help you, yeah, to play. But then the offensive coverage, we cannot have the player with ball must have always one coverage, one security line to play back, to don't be the last man trying the central back trying to dribble the guy and then he suffer the goal, he lose the ball and it's one against the goalkeeper. This can never happen. There must be always one line, and that's this. If we follow this principle, we have always the ball will be always for us because we have always someone that is alone to play. There must be someone that is alone, and we have to try to find it. And in defense, if we go again, it's one against one. We need to have someone in the back to control. If this player will be dribbled, I will be there. I will be the security. I will be the coverage. Then it's mobility in defense. What we want is to stop the mobility of them, and then we need the space to play with space. And in defense, it's the concentration of the space to trying to make the game a bit shorter. And these principles are the same in basketball, in handball, in futsal, in football, in hockey. If we look to the match, even in volleyball, if we look to the match, we have all these principles. And when people asks us here in futsal how it's our way out to play, if people asks in football, yeah, if it was like 4-3-3, 5-5-3-2, here people asks us like, oh, you like to play more 3-1, 4-0, 2-2, and we said we don't have it. We have principles of the game, and the players need to know in each moment what they have to do. They can progress. One player must be ready to progress with ball. One player must give offensive coverage, and the other two players they must give mobility. And when you don't have the ball, it's the same. You like to defend. We like to press, but sometimes the other team puts us down. Okay, doesn't matter. Our principles are the same. Doesn't matter if we are pressing, if we are closer to our goal. Our principles, these four principles must be always there. That's the thing that we care the most. And if you think about this for me it's the key of the game. It's when you have the ball, my teammate has the ball. What can I do? Is the last man? Okay, maybe I will make offensive coverage. And the other two players, okay, where is the space? Where can I receive the ball? Here or there? Go more deep or go more large? Go more in the middle? Go to block? Maybe many solutions. But if we understand the game, if we know what to do in each moment, we are always much ready to help our team. This is just one microcycle of this is ours is from this week actually. So you see here Thursday we just have training.
So just for you guys to know, microcycle is a plan of a week. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mesocycle is more about it's a bit longer, and microcycle is normally teams work with microcycles because it's the time they have for a game, so to say. Yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
if you are a
exactly.
Premier League coach, you might have two, so you need to adapt your microcycle with two games. But in general, this is not happening with football.
uh, this it was from last week. We had two matches, for example. We needed to adapt. We gave the rest here. We had game here, so we had training here. We still didn't know where we'll play, but it's different as you see. We cut the gym because we didn't want to give more uh, to make them more tired. Yeah, so we just cut here the
A
gym.
bit upper, so because we didn't see the end. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
so this was from last week. If you see, it's
yeah.
different.
Because you have two games. Yeah.
Yeah, because we have two games, and we are lucky here because it's a professional team, and we have 7 trainings a week. We have 7 trainings and 2 times gym, and then we have 2 times meetings, making the analysis about our match. Probably we spoke about it, and also speaking about the next opponent, about what we will face, what are the weaknesses of them, what are the strongest points of them. But for me, in all of that, and it's where for me is the key point, and was the key point of last season as well. The work that we do in the morning, we have the gym, yeah. But the work that we do in the morning, it's more about individual technique and tactic. So we look more for the player only. Not we don't look for the tactics. We don't look for the to play 4-4-2, 4-3-3. We don't look nothing about it. In the morning here in football it's 4-0, 3-1, 2-2. Afternoon we make usually games. Yes, like we make some games, some exercises with some game dynamic. It's our way out to train because we cannot train one thing that it's not similar with the match. We have always to try. We try. It's our way how to train. We cannot separate the match. We cannot separate the attack from the defense. You are attacking. You are only attacking if you have one defense. If not, you are not attacking at all. But in the morning, we work always about individual, technique, and tactic. Technique, everybody knows. It's your skills, more or less. The tactic for me is the most important stuff that it's know what can I do, how can I do, and where can I do in each moment. This is the tactic, and this is the aspect that we try to work with guys. It's to in each moment of the match they have to know what to do, how to do, where to go, and they have to understand the match by this way. We cannot ask someone, you as a player, you cannot ask someone to pass the ball, to make one pass of 30 meters if this player is not able to understand that there is the space. They can make this pass. Of course, he can make this pass. If you don't put nobody in front, he can make this. He can make this pass, but he has to know how to recognize that this space exists. I will show you some examples. It will be. You can see the screen, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You can see the video.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's working good, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So here we are in 4-0, for example. If you speak about futsal, we have one player here, 2, 3, 4, and the goalkeeper, and the other team is here pressing. So we are playing, we are trying to go to the attack. And now, look to this number 2. Look to this guy. In this moment, he made one of the most important mistakes that he could do. Someone can recognize which is the mistake that he did here. We are attacking this goal, right?
Well, it's very clear where he will pass. Basically, that's what is a mistake. They know with his posture, you know exactly that he's not going to pass in front. Basically.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because he's right guy and he's receiving with left. But if he receive with right foot the ball, he will be immediately facing this guy, so he could progress. First principle of the match, and he will be able. His body will be turned in the way that he could go here, he could come here, he could go in the middle, he could go everywhere. He could pass the ball here, he could pass here, he could pass here. In this moment, there is only one way. He will play to this side. He will play the ball to this side. And these teammates, they are coming here. Look to the space. Look to the space. Individual tactic. It was not technique. He is very good with techniques, but with tactic. He has the space here. He has all space here, but he's only thinking about this one here, to play to this side. First principle, progression. He could just take the ball and run here. Look, a lot of space to run over here. And now what he does? Pass. This guy, very smart, understand that this is happening. Pressing immediately. Pass to the guy that is coming back. The same. He's not facing the guy. He's afraid. Coming back. And now the other team press and we shoot ball outside. Another mistake that he did, that he can never do. Here, someone says the way how we stop the ball. We are always saying to the players, we cannot stop the ball. We have to make the reception. We have to know where to go after, or take the ball to the middle, or take the ball to the line. We cannot just stop the ball. If you receive the ball, for example, you are defenders. One player passed the ball to you and you stop the ball, the striker is pressing you. If you stop the ball, he goes with everything against you. But if you receive the ball already, he's coming from here. If I receive the ball already going to the right, he will never catch me because I'm already on the way to go to the right and I have space to play. Here, he stops the ball. If here in this... Wait. If he takes the ball, not stopping, but if he takes the ball here to the line, this player will never attack him. He will stop because he is making this move. If we take the ball here, he will stop to don't make fall. But, or if he takes the ball here, he could pass more there. But as he stops the ball, it's very easy for the defender.
Of course, guys, just that you know, for this example, of course, in futsal there is a rule that you cannot play with the goalkeeper after the first pass.
Exactly.
Of course, so basically in 8 versus 8, of course, the easiest solution here was to pass to the goalkeeper. In futsal, they cannot. After the first touch, it's done. They cannot pass to the goalkeeper again. Of course,
He could play
Uh,
here, but no, it
yeah,
was not a chance.
exactly. So basically, that's something else that is different. Is that, for example, us, we will have chosen to pass to the goalkeeper. That will have been the easiest thing to do, and that's why the goalkeeper is so important. Even more, you can see it even more here. Basically, if Artem, for example, you are the goalkeeper, you are always a solution here. Yeah.
Yeah,
In futsal, you cannot do that.
he's even hiding the hands in the back because it's our way. When it's too noisy and they cannot listen, the goalkeeper shouting that they cannot play, they hide the hands in the back. So when they look to the goalkeepers and they don't see the hands asking the ball, they know that they cannot pass. Because sometimes if the goalkeeper didn't touch the ball yet in this play, we could play to him. But in this moment, he was out of play, as Daniel was saying. So that's why it's now imagine it's really we have to be focused a lot. Just going faster here, showing here another example. Look to this guy here. Look to this guy here. He's in running with this guy. He understands that he's running with him. He didn't try to keep running in the back. There was no space to take the ball because this guy is with him. So he just breaks. And look now the space that he has with this player. Look to the space that he creates. It's the same. Space and time all the time. Look. And this is something that you can also play with this. Make the moves. In football, we also see that, not so much. But here we have so less space to play. Imagine this 44 against 44 in football. If they were playing at the same time, they had to create space. And this is one strategy to create space. If I want to go to the right, I make a very short run to the left, and then I break immediately and go to the right. Because the defenders will be our mirror most of the times. And here is one situation he creates. And now look what he did after he receives the ball. Immediately. You saw the difference with the other player before? He was looking here. It was very easy for him to take the ball and to stop the ball looking back, right? But look what he did here. You can see difference, yeah? And now he's able to play. Now he's able to play. He can play here. He could dribble to the middle. This guy is already coming. There is many ways. This guy is breaking and coming to play, as we spoke, with space, going deep, using all the pitch. And now it's moves that we have. The pivot, just like in handball, keeping the ball, another guy coming, and then he missed the goal. The truth is that it was not goal. The truth is that it was not goal.
Don't say that. We thought that it was a goal.
0-0. We have a draw in this match. We played our best match of the season. We missed 3 goals more like this. Three goals. Empty goal. 1 meter far away from the goal. Look to us. We couldn't believe. It was crazy. So beautiful play here. It was insane. But this is the individual tactic, understanding what is happening.
This is this is of course important in football everywhere. It's so important that you know what you will do with the ball before having it.
Exactly.
And that's why sometimes we make the rule, for example, that you have only 2 touches or 3 touches, so that you are aware that basically you need to know what to do before.
Yeah. We do a lot in the morning. We do a lot of these exercises. Peripheral vision, like we put many players with different colors, and they have to play only with one color. Yeah, so they have only one line, two players that they can pass the ball. So they have and with 2 touches. So they have to be always looking, where is my teammate? Where can I play? Where can I not play? And that's it. We have. If I want to play to this side, I cannot receive the ball looking back. I will never be able to play in front. So I have to try to put my body in the position that I be able to play. Just here to, this is the same. Another one facing the guy. And again, we missed the goal. One against goalkeeper. Another one. Look to these players moving. Space. Offensive coverage, progression, mobility, and space. Offensive coverage, the player for progression, mobility, and space. And this here. Now he leaves. Another player coming in the middle, and this one large. He will leave. This one is coming in the middle already here, and this one is the large. He plays. He will leaves. This one from there. And now we missed in second post. Now, look, in the beginning we had number 10 here, 93, 12, and 15. These guys are in this position, and in the end, all of them are in different positions. This player start here, this one start here, this one start there, and this one starts here. So they are in the same positions as before, if you see, more or less, but they are occupying the same spaces, but in completely different positions. If you see here, this form, and if you see here, this form. That's why it's important. Mobility, giving lines. It was just about, we never we never told to them, you have to come here, you have to go there. We just, okay, you have to use the space to play. We have to stop in the middle. We have to give lines. We have to support. And then they're dynamic. Now, just to finish, to don't say that I speak only about attack. One thing that is very important, and pay attention to this one. Last one. Look to this guy in defense. We have always to see the ball and our player. Ball and our player is too closer to his player. He should be here. This guy should be here. Ball is there. He'll never receive the ball. Look to him. Only looking to the ball. He lost his player. Ball to the back. If it was not the goalkeeper, it was goal. And now a good moment. Look to this one here. Look to this one. Ball there. Already in position to run, controlling the ball and controlling the player. He's looking to the player. He knows where is the player. Controlling the ball and player. Ball and player. Ball and player. He's looking here. And in the moment that he breaks, because he was looking, he's able to press, win the ball, and we miss one more goal, 2 against the goalkeeper.
You have a lot to analyze in futsal.
That's my word. This guy making the same, ball is here, controlling the space. And that's what we work in the morning, what we work in the morning. It's this kind of examples that we do, just trying to work these little details that we think that is what makes the difference to the others.
I think in every sport, I think all the details. It's what I said to many times. You know, like a bad reception is a transition for the other team most of the time.
Yeah.
Of course, a bad shot happens. At least it's out, and at least there is time to recover. But a bad reception or a bad pass it can be a killer, basically.
Yeah.
And Davids, for example, of course, he's into football, but he also plays volleyball, so he knows exactly how the technique is.
If there is a sport where technique is important, is in volleyball.
So
I was yesterday watching the World Cup of women's volleyball in the live here. It's really wonderful. It's really wonderful. The way if you look for the covers, they are always preparing the covers. Yeah, the block is coming here, the cover is ready over there. It's wonderful. Then the reception, yeah, if they don't make the pass, if they don't make the perfect pass, it's destroyed. The shoot will not be so good. Yeah, everything is connected. All sports, at least I believe so.
And Yeah, that's why I wanted you to speak about your way of seeing things, because actually, of course, um, you guys are not the only ones learning about things like this, because I today I learned also things that I maybe knew, thought that I knew, but because it's true that sometimes there is so little details that you, in this 8 versus 8, that they are so similar with the futsal, but not as much as in football. And yeah, I mean, the details are, of course, they are important in football, but I think in futsal they are even more important, basically. Everything counts. Every second, every millisecond. Of course, in football also, but a bit less possible.
We always say to the players that in football, when there is the duels, yeah, when you go and you lose one ball because you don't fight for the ball. We say in football, if you lose one ball closer to the other goal, it's okay. The guys have to run 90 meters, and you can make fault and you can stop the match. In futsal, we have only 5 faults to make. After that, it's penalty. Doesn't matter where you make the fault, it will be a penalty. So we cannot stop the game. We cannot kick the guys. And if in football you lose the ball in the half of the pitch, okay, they have 55 meters to run, and they have maybe 6 players between the ball and the goal. In futsal, if you lose the ball in the middle, they are 20 meters to our goal, and maybe it's 1-against-1 situation, or 2-against-1 most of the times. So how careful you have to be, and you have to fight a lot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Sergio. Does anybody has a question?
I have a question about the fault. Do you remember the conversation that we had, Daniel, about going for the ball and playing with the shoulder?
Yeah.
So, Sergio, tell me please, if that's a fall, if both of us are running for the ball, let's say ball is 10 meters in front of us, and both of us are running for the ball, and when we are getting closer, we start to play with the shoulders. I like tackle him in the shoulder and like push him away. Is that a fall?
With shoulder, I don't believe so, unless that you pull the guy.
Okay.
You said
Point
something different.
proven. Point
Alex,
proven. Thank you.
you said
That's
something
that's very
different.
good.
Wait. Because what we said about is that you are far away from the ball, you are not at all, and you are pushing the guy with shoulders because he's faster than you, and you just kill him outside the action with your shoulders.
Yeah, but you are playing for the ball. Like nobody else is running for the ball.
Yeah, but
If you are running for the ball,
what's happening in our championship was that guys were making shoulders on our backs. That was fall. You cannot make shoulders against backs, just shoulders against shoulders.
Yeah, but we had discussion about the shoulder on the shoulder.
Yeah, but not 10
And you
meters
said
away
that you
from the
cannot
ball.
play.
That's
but from the back,
perception.
even here from the back, it's very common that the guys are kicking from the back, and it's not fault. It happens a lot
It's
of time here.
perception, guys.
I'm
For
arguing
me,
with
it's
referees
fault.
a lot of time.
For me,
No,
it's fault.
it's not a fall.
Ah.
Okay, so a point proven. Thank you, Sergio.
Sergio, come
You
on.
want
You
this
didn't
one,
read me. You could have helped me here.
You send me message.
Oh no, come on. He said, "Oh, I spoke with Daniel. No. What do you think? Oh, come on." But it's okay. It's okay. I have defeated. Artem, you have a question also. I see that you were with sound off.
Yeah, about chemistry between players. I also agree that the chemistry itself has place, but is it possible to improve this chemistry between some of players to create their connections and to make them believe each other?
Yeah, you can make games in the pairs and make them obligated to play. In the games, we are the referees. For example, I am the referee in the match, and if I want to give some motivation to one player, sometimes I cannot make. I can make the things going good to his way, let's say. And sometimes, as the coaches, we can create rules or create exercises. For example, I know that some players are better to play with or there is one very good player in the team, yeah, and I have to make a team of 4 players, and I want 2 players to combine good, but I put one key player playing together with them because this team will win, and they will start to think, oh, I played with this guy and we won all the matches on the training, like this training was really good, and every time that they make a combination together, we as coaches have to try to make them understand, oh yeah, all right, you are good pass to this one, good pass to that one, to make them believe and think that it was a good action and that they are combining good with this one. We can manipulate always what the humans are thinking. We are always being manipulated, and in the game it's the same. If we put them to playing much more time together, if we make pairs like 2 players against 2 players and trying to put maybe 2 players that are not so good or a bit weak players and the other 2 making some combinations, and they win, they start to see that the things are going good, and they start to trust in each other more and more and more. It's one strategy that we try to make. First of all, we put everybody best to play with everybody, but then there is some players that say, okay, they're not combining good, but for us, for the team, it will be good if their connection was very good.
Yeah.
So let's give more time for them, and let's try to make the things easier for them to win the trust.
That's why David is a good coach. You saw how he manipulated Sergio with that question. I see you, man. Alex, you had a question too, I see. No? Your sound was on, so I don't know. I was maybe. No? All good? Right on. So, Sergio, I think.
It's not a more. Doesn't sound like a question though, but all right, I can make it one. Do you create some kind of training memories together? Because I'm coaching a volleyball team, and for us to become more like a family, we do some things that only we do in trainings, that only the guys who join the training can enjoy. For example, if you do the serve underneath the net, then everybody goes and can hit you on the ears or some stuff. And do you agree that you prefer stuff like that? Like
we have, there is another stuff that we make also about chemistry, is that when we make this individual, when we make like trainings that we have to put the groups together, yeah, where when we make fun games, as he's saying, as you are saying, some funny games, we try the players that we want to have chemistry together, we try to make them together, yeah, so they will have a laugh together, and if they win, it's like a funny game to play. I don't know, one player in the middle, no, but to play the game that you have to put 3 in the row, for example. Yeah, we make these kind of games as well, so everybody laugh about the others, and they start to create this connection. And we also make trust tests in the beginning of the season. For example, one guy closed eyes and the other is in his back, and you just open the arms, close your eyes, and you just fell down, and the other guy will catch you. First time they will catch you just a little bit, you just fall down, 50 centimeters, and last time they only catch you when you are almost hitting the floor. We make these ones, and they cannot move the legs. If they will move the legs, they will repeat and repeat and repeat until that they will not move the legs. They will just fall down. We make the other one. We put everybody in the circle. They close the eyes in the middle with like this. They are like that. And they are just pull, they just start to pull, and so he goes around and he makes like a doll almost, and he cannot open the eyes like for 30 seconds. So he never knows if somebody will not catch him, and they are having a laugh. And we have some games like this about the trust. We do. And these funny games are awesome.
Actually, just
Yeah.
to sorry to end, and this is how we celebrate chemistry in our team sometimes. Is that, well, I have something because that is just for those that participate, and maybe some will come because, well, maybe some will see the recording, I hope, but we have a this is for chemistry beer.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
So
always saying, guys, I'm always, it's true. It's what I said.
so basically Saturday we'll celebrate chemistry together.
It's what I said, like about to going for the coffee, to going for the lunch together, to going for the beer. I'm always speaking with the captain that he should make one another dinner, together, only for the players. They invite me and I go, of course, but uh, because I'm the one that's giving the idea. But yeah, because they don't have this tradition here. In Portugal, we have during
And
the week or something.
from this point of view, hugs after scoring a goal are also very important.
We don't. If somebody will not hug each other when we score the goals, the 5 players that are on the pitch, he will on the next match when we make the analysis. We also analyze this, for example, why you didn't celebrate with your player, and they know that when they score the goal, before to go to the TV and make for the girlfriends or to point somewhere on the stands, first when they score the goal, they have to celebrate together. The 5 players that are on the pitch, on the bench, we are together as well. But when they score, they have to go together. After that, they can go to the camera. But first is the team. First is the team. After that, they do whatever they want. They take T-shirt and they take yellow card if they want.
Then I think it's must have for our trainings.
What, chemistry?
I mean hugs after scoring a goal.
Ah, come on.
He's afraid of COVID. He's still afraid of COVID.
No, on the trainings, if we every time there is a goal, we hug each other, we lose all the time.
There is one thing that I listened from one coach, mental coach, and imagine the emotions are very, very important. And if you remember about the memories that you have from your childhood or something, it's because something hit you in some way. Yes, something provoked some emotion on you, bad or good, and you remember this moment. And in the trainings will be the same. If we go for the trainings and if we don't feel it, if we don't feel it in the good or in a bad way, it's because this will not stay in our mind. We will not memorize this. For example, David remembers this with Daniel because probably they were hungry with each other. One saying that was fault, another no. If not, they didn't remember this situation anymore. If nobody cares about this situation, it was just a normal situation of the match. So if we don't have emotions, we will not memorize.
Basically, it was about the game that I lost my temper with the ref because, well, I was seeing falls everywhere, and David was saying, "No, actually, I didn't see any fall anywhere," and I was like, "Come on, man, are you crazy?" And then we discussed almost every fall, and yeah, well, he has standards, I have others. It's normal, he plays football here since many years, and I'm still not used to Latvian falls all the time, so to say.
Yeah.
But
In Poland is the
I'm
same.
agreeing more and more with David. So I love you, man.
Love you too.
But Sergio, I really want to thank you for this.
You're welcome, man.
And of course, when I had the idea about these classes, I thought about you right away because I know that you are a master of your area. So thank you. I have good friends.
You're welcome. It was good to be back to Riga for a while. I have to go there soon, for sure. I have to go there.
You do. I know you do.
You don't want to make nothing in the life? Because I can make a request in the team to say, hey man, I have to go like for a week to Riga.
Well, you are always welcome. You can just tell me what day you prefer, and you come here live, and we do a futsal training in.
This is just in the paper. We can go for Saturdays as well for this beer. It doesn't matter.
Let's see if more people will see the recording. I will say the time in the next meeting.
You can cut this part.
No, I will not cut it. No, that's in purpose. I did it.
All right.
It was here all the class. You know, I kept it here so that you guys are, of course, you will be here if you can. But let's see if the other ones will be able to. I will not say anything in the group, just in the classes about the
All
beers.
right.
But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sergio, and thank you guys for coming. I
You're
know
welcome.
that,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio. It was
Thanks.
real nice.
All of
Real
you.
nice.
you.
Okay.